Welcome to Profit First Nation, the official podcast for entrepreneurs who are operating their businesses in the zone of permanent profitability. I'm Mike Michalowicz, the author of Profit First, and now here's your Profit First Nation guide, Daniel Mulvey.
Welcome to episode 149 of Profit First Nation. So this is an episode ending in 9. Like episodes ending in 4 and 9, we talk going all in on your business and talking about how great leaders build unstoppable teams. So today it is all about scaling you. If you want to build an unstoppable team, you have to start scaling you, right? And if you want to grow your business, it can't just be a solopreneur venture. I'd like you to step outside your comfort zone. I would like you to imagine yourself and your business growing to great heights because you're not afraid to hire employees. You can sell more, do more, have more of an impact in the world when you start scaling you and stop being a solopreneur. And you start scaling your business by building that unstoppable team of what we like to call 5-star fits for the role. So when we talk about scaling you, we first have to realize that you are that special specimen of an entrepreneur, or you are what I like to call a sparkly glitter unicorn, right? They don't exist. And no one else like you exists as you in this world. So I'm going to say that the first thing that you need to start with is accepting and realizing that while your business might only need one of you in order to break apart what you do in the business, you probably need 3 different people to do all the things that you do, right? Because again, as entrepreneurs, we're a little bit crazy. We can do it all, and we can all do it pretty well. But when you start scaling you and you start breaking apart the things that you do in your business, the challenge is to break it apart at least in 3 different ways of what you do in the business. Maybe it's the admin, then it's the sales, and then it's the operations side of the business. And when you do that, you are going to be more likely to find someone who is a better admin than you could possibly be. And you're not having the admin do admin and sales. You're having the admin just do admin work, because you will not find an admin who can do admin and sales, administrative work and sales. It drives me crazy when I talk to entrepreneurs and they want an admin and they want that admin to also be responsible for marketing. Why? Why waste your money? Because you're never going to find that person. You want someone who's great at admin? Then get someone who's great at admin. You're never going to find someone who's great at admin and great at marketing. Just don't even try. Just accept I need to find someone who's great at admin and do that. And when you start out, you're not having to make a decision or hire someone that's going to last you for your entire company, right? People come and go, and we can love our best employee, but their life could take a drastic turn. Their life could, and their family could take them somewhere else, and it just isn't feasible for them to work for you anymore. So when you hire, we're hiring for the role that we need to fill. We're hiring for the responsibilities that we need to fill. And so as you start to scale your business and as you start to grow, maybe to start with, to get the admin stuff off your plate, you can get someone who's part-time. You can get someone who's offshore. You can get just a VA to do it, domestic or offshore. Okay? We're going to start with getting the stuff off your plate that you hate. That's the first hire you're going to make. And again, it doesn't have to be a full-time person. Get creative about it. And it doesn't have to be something that has to last forever. You need to get the stuff that you hate off your plate right away because that is, to a certain degree, ruining your flow, ruining your zone of genius, paralyzing you to a certain degree, and not letting you do the things that you need to do with that clear mind. Because just in the back of your head, or in the things that you know have to do, the procrastination of doing the things you hate is not serving you, and it's not serving your business. So get the stuff you hate off your plate. And again, start slow. Get a VA to do it for 4 hours a week. There are lots of options for VAs. You can work and find a dedicated VA. And there's also out there a lot of VA agencies now where they know what needs to happen and how it needs to get done, and it's documented. And kind of the cool thing about a VA agency is that there's always coverage. It's always going to get done. They always have your back. And you can buy sort of like credits or hours with them per month. So you're able to start real slow. You're able to say, hey, I need to get this 5 hours a week off my plate. Hey, I need to get this 8 hours a week, 10 hours a week. And it can just kind of grow over time. And then maybe you hit like a tipping point where at this point, it makes sense to hire a dedicated VA for 20 hours a week once you hit that point. Or maybe you just enjoy the agency relationship and it keeps going. But I challenge you right here, right now, get the stuff you hate off your plate. Okay? Number one is how you're going to scale yourself. Now, when we talk about scaling you and your business, I want you to realize that everything that you do in your business, when you break it up into the parts, and for simplicity, we're going to break it up into 3 parts here: the admin part, the sales and marketing part, and the operations part. If you do this right and you're a great leader, then you're going to hire people who are better at admin than you. You're going to hire people who are better at sales and marketing than you. And you're going to hire people who are better at operations than you. You're like the conductor of the orchestra. And you got the admin section, you got the sales and marketing section, and you have the operations section. But you don't play an instrument. You don't play admin. You don't play in the sales and marketing section, and you don't play in the operations section. Because you have great musicians, you have great employees covering those sections, and people who can do it better than you. You want to hire the best. I want to share Magic Johnson about sort of his aha when it came to building his team. So what did Magic realize? He had bodies in seats, but he didn't have the best bodies in the seat. He had okay or mediocre people. They were fine. They were, whatever. And he probably felt pretty important because he was kind of better than them and felt like he was a better leader, that he was needed in that. But what did he do? The aha for him was that no, he needed to have the best of the best in every role in his company. So he fired everyone and got the best of the best in there. And that's what you're going to do too. You are building a 5-star team of people who can do everything better than you. But you're going to give them singular roles, individual responsibilities. They're not going to be responsible for being you in the business. Because right now you are probably doing everything in the business. And we are going to break it up and start scaling it. So after you get the stuff you hate off your plate, which I'm going to guess is the admin stuff, then the next thing that you would want to focus on is hiring someone for sales and marketing. Now, maybe they're one and the same, maybe they're different. It just kind of depends upon how you sell in your business and such. And of course, you do this great, but you can find someone who can do it better than you. You can find someone who just loves rejection more than you. I know most entrepreneurs, we love our baby. We don't want anyone to call our baby ugly. So we're not necessarily as aggressive as we should be in sales, maybe, or as consistent as we should be in sales, because we tend, and I'm guilty of, sort of retreating when someone calls our baby ugly, AKA they don't buy from us, right? But you need someone in sales who is just like feeds off a rejection. They know they need to get 19 rejections to get one sale. So they are just pounding away. 19 rejections, one sale. When they get to 15 rejections, they know they're that much closer to 19 rejections before they get that one sale. So your hire is going to be a salesperson who loves sales more than you, because they'll figure it out. If they love sales, if they love rejection, they will figure it out. And you want to find someone in sales, obviously, who is very motivated by commission over fixed salary. Now, of course, the all-in assessment does tell you sort of someone's work fit. Are they better in office? Are they better remote? Are they somewhere in between? Do they prefer fixed salary, or are they, farther on the scale in terms of, preferring bonus or commission structures? So you want hungry salespeople. You want someone who is bonus on commission and sales. Okay?
Struggling to turn a profit in your business? Profit First Nation shares the proven systems used by thousands of entrepreneurs to transform from barely surviving to permanently profitable. Mike Michalowicz and Danielle Mulvey have been in your shoes. Now they pass on what they've learned, the exact financial hacks and mindset shifts to drive profitability through the roof. Real stories from the entrepreneurial trenches. A clear path to earn great money doing work you love. Join the Profit First community. Transform your business from a cash-eating monster to a profitable money-making machine. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Passion, profit, and play await in the Profit First Nation.
Now, really quickly, little Profit First hint for you, or Profit First tip for you when it comes to having commission salespeople. When you have commission salespeople and it's time to pay their commissions, that commission actually is treated as like a cost of goods or a contractor expense, a materials expense, because it's owed. It was to make that sale. If you pay a 10% commission, then to make that $100 sale, then you had a cost of 10%, the commission, to make that sale. So you take that 10% off that top line because it's baked into the sale. Like if it was the material that you had to use to produce that product. All right. So commission comes off the top when it comes to calculating your real revenue. All right. So after you've hired your sales and marketing person who can do sales and marketing better than you, then your next hire is going to be in operations, and ideally on the delivery of what you do. And now that you have these different areas covered, admin, sales and marketing, and delivery or operations, now you've got the foundation to then keep scaling. And it kind of becomes a function of sales in terms of where does the next hire go. But I have an important metric that you need to understand when it comes to, well, what is my tipping point in terms of making a new hire? So we recommend when you're going to want to make a new hire, you want to kind of pretend that you already have that person on your payroll. So you want to start allocating like that person is on your payroll before you make that hire, and build up some reserve in your operating expense account, or if you're doing more advanced Profit First, into your payroll account. So payroll is just a subset. Having a payroll allocation account is just a subset of your operating expense account. So you are going to want to start allocating that future salary you're going to pay now into that operating expense or into that payroll account, and, get to the point where you feel comfortable. Is it 3 months of salary banked? Is it 6 months of salary banked? Whatever your comfort zone is, you're going to want to, then we know our business can afford this. And then we also want to stay within a 3.5x return on payroll. All right. So what does that mean? Well, that means that for every dollar I spend on payroll, I should be getting a 3.5x return on that payroll dollar in the form of real revenue. So if you pay someone $30 an hour, then 3.5 times $30 an hour is $105 per hour of real revenue. So someone you're paying $30 an hour to should be having $105 impact per hour on real revenue. Now, is it as linear as that? No, but that's at the sort of the granular level of per hour that you pay someone. So if you're going to do $100,000 in revenue, then you kind of can reverse it to figure out, well, what is my payroll budget for that? So if you're going to do $100,000 in real revenue, so that's total revenue minus materials and subcontractor expenses and commissions if you have a salesperson, then $100,000 divided by 3.5 is $28,000. That is your budget for payroll. And, in that budget for payroll, that also includes your owner's pay. So if you have a dedicated payroll account, you're probably using a payroll service. When you do your allocations on allocation day, you still allocate in this order to profit, owner's pay, taxes, operating expenses, payroll, maybe if you have some other advanced profit first allocation accounts. But after you do those allocations and after you allocate from your income account to your owner's pay account, then you're going to do that secondary sweep to the payroll account because that is what your payroll company is going to pull out of. They're going to pull out of your payroll account. So you always still allocate, even if you have a payroll service, to owner's pay, and then you do a secondary transfer from owner's pay to your payroll account, and then the money comes out. All right? So basically, for every $100,000 in revenue, in real revenue, you have about $28,000 for a payroll budget. So $28,500 to be exact. So if you have $250,000 in real revenue, then your ideal 3.5x payroll budget is $71,000. If you have $500,000 in real revenue, then you have a $142,000 payroll budget. If you do $1 million in real revenue, then you have a $285,000 budget for salary. And these are just this is ideal. You want to get to a 3.5x return. So many times, especially when businesses are nearing or exceeding that $1 million mark in real revenue, their profitability becomes tougher. And their profitability becomes tougher because their payroll, which is an expense, is too high. And it's too high because you've got too many people that are really 1, 2, or 3-star employees that are not producing a 3.5x return on payroll. If you're paying someone $30 an hour and they're not doing such a hot job, then you're losing money. You have to really think of the payroll dollars that you're spending as an investment, and you need to get a return on that investment. And if you're not getting a return on that investment, then you have the wrong person in that role, because every role in your business should be producing a return on payroll. Admins, every position has an impact on revenue. And people say, no, there's some positions that you just have to have. And yeah, that's true. But you got to think of it in this way, because when you started, it was probably just you, right? And you were doing the work that, you're worth maybe $200 an hour, but you were doing the admin that you can probably get done for $20 an hour or $30 an hour now. So everything that you can get off your plate to make you have more available time at $300 per hour, that's a positive impact on revenue. That person who is doing it for $20 or $30 an hour is doing it way more efficiently and way more profitably than if you, who should be making $200 per hour, is doing it. Because if you're making $200 an hour, then you're really producing $700, right? In impact on revenue. So that's what we have to look at. It's the impact on revenue. And I know this gets a little complicated. We do cover this extensively when we do our 3-day workshops that just gets you like dialed in on starting to build your 5-star team and understanding, starting you to help set the bar for what that role of a 5-star employee, that ideal 5-star fit looks like for the company. So we welcome you to join us in on those fun sessions, and you can find those at hairisonfire.com. That's how we run those sessions, is hairisonfire.com. But again, the biggest to profitability is when your payroll is just not in line with the multiple that it needs to be in, because payroll is an expense. And the only way to increase profitability is to increase margin and or decrease expenses. So I often see that most companies have an inflated payroll because they don't have efficient employees. They have too many people collecting a paycheck and not producing that optimal 3.5x return on payroll. Everything is possible. You just have to push. You have to set the expectation, and it will happen. If you just let it go, what happens? It just lets go, right? So challenge yourself that when you're scaling you need to break apart the pieces that you need to get off your plate. You're going to hire people that are way better at doing those individual things, way better than you can. And those individuals are 5-star employees who produce a 3.5x return. If they can't produce a 3.5x return, guess what? They're not 5-star fits for the role, and they're not serving you, and they're probably not happy. I mean, if they're not crushing it, they're not loving their job. And people know when they're crushing it and when they're not. But people will stay in a comfort zone. If the paycheck keeps coming and I don't have to step outside my comfort zone, I can just keep showing up and keep collecting a paycheck, then they will. And okay, Mr. Nice Guy you are, let's see, how much longer you're going to stay in business. Or how many times I talk to entrepreneurs and business owners who don't pay themselves, but pay their employees a great salary. Not cool. Not cool. Not going to work. Not going to last. So you're here because you want to build a profitable company. You want to lead an unstoppable team of 5-star employees. And you then will have a profitable year, a profitable life, and be the epitome of success that you deserve, delivering what your vision is to the world and helping your customers achieve the results that you know you can, but you can only do it with 5-star employees. Cheers to another profitable day, my entrepreneurial friend.
Thanks for tuning in to the Profit First Nation podcast. We hope you found today's episode valuable and that it's inspired you to take action towards achieving permanent profitability in your business. If you want to learn more about how to implement Profit First in your business and connect with a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, be sure to visit us at ProfitFirstNation.com to download our how-to guides and resources. Remember, permanent profitability is within your reach, and we're here to support you every step of the way. So let's do Profit First right together.
Profit First Nation website, related podcasts, and videos are provided for general information purposes only and do not constitute accounting, legal, tax, or other professional advice. Visitors should not act upon the content or information found here without first seeking appropriate advice from an accountant, financial planner, lawyer, or other professional.